Si Apollo Kibuloy po, hindi pa convicted sa anumang krimen. Sa panukalang ito, kahit si Apollo Kibuloy na lumalabas na may sariling private army, ang Angels of Death, ay qualified pa rin makakuha ng mga baril. Bakit po natin binabago ang polisiya at pinapadali ang access sa mga armas?
In the case of the case cited by the good gentlewoman, the case of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, granting that the same case will surface in the future, and we already passed this amendment of this law, then I think we can petition the court to have him disqualified for possessing firearms. Pero kasi kung general natin ito lahat, kawawa naman ako. Kagaya ko, may kaso ako na arbitrary detention ng pulis pa ako. Kung hanggang ngayon hindi pa na-resolve yung kaso na yun. Tapos senador na ako ngayon, hindi ako pwedeng mabigyan ng permit to carry firearms outside of residence. Then I think that will be unfair on my part kung hindi ako bigyan ng tsansa ng estado na madipinsahan yung sarili ko, lalong-lalo na at may threat sa buhay ko. So siguro, I am not saying it is my right. But I think that the state should give me that privilege to defend myself.
Una po, under present laws, permits to carry firearms outside of residence must be issued by the Chief PNP. In the bill, the Chief PNP can designate an authorized representative. So ang mga tanong ko po dyan ay kahit sino po ba ay pwedeng i-authorize ng Chief PNP? Pwede po ba halimbawa na marami silang i-authorize simultaneously, good sponsor?
Yes, Mr. President. Yung bibigyan ng authority ng Chief PNP nito is the Chief of the Firearms and Explosives Office. Pwede niya i-designate yung chief ng FPO. Kasi pag halimbawa, yung nasa travel yung Chief PNP abroad, yung kawawa nga yung papel, hindi tumatakbo. So dapat pwede niya i-designate yung chief ng Firearms and Explosives Office. Chief.
At good sponsor, yung chief ng FEO lamang ba ang pwedeng i-authorize ng Chief PNP?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. President.
So hindi po mangyayari na maraming i-authorize
Hindi po,
ng
hindi po.
Chief PNP
Kasi
simultaneously?
very crucial yan na function na, Your Honor. Hindi po pwede kung sino-sino lang yung bibigyan ng responsibilidad na yan. Only one person, aside from the Chief PNP.
Okay, good. Mr. President, nagpapasalamat ako sa ganong pagbibigay ng limitasyon ng good sponsor that indeed this is a very crucial function at kahit papaano nakaka-reassure marinig na only one other official sa National Police natin bukod sa Chief PNP ang pwedeng mag-issue upon designation by the Chief PNP. Although iba po yung pananaw ko dun sa pagkasabi na kawawa naman kung matagalan yung paggalaw ng mga papeles dahil baka alam din po ng good sponsor, ang advocacy ko po actually ay nasa ibang direksyon, gunless society, na ang ibig sabihin ko po doon ay ang PNP lamang at ang AFP ang may hawak ng mga baril. Dahil sa tingin ko po, kapag dumami ang mga baril sa kamay ng mga sibilyan, mas na-facilitate pa nga po yung mga violent crimes, pati po mga suicides na gamit ang baril at iba pa. But at the very least po, Mr. President, mabuting marinig na bukod sa Chief PNP, isa lamang pang opisyal ng National Police ang pwedeng mag-issue, Mr. President.
Yes po, Mr. President, Your Honor. I fully agree with the point raised by the good gentlewoman from Panay.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Good Sponsor. Now, would the sponsor agree that gun ownership and possession are privileges granted by the state under strict requirements and no one can demand a right to have firearms, Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor. I fully agree.
Maraming salamat, good sponsor. Now, in Section 2 of the bill, the standards and requisites for obtaining a license to own and possess firearms are relaxed. In the current law, applicants who are subjects of pending criminal cases are not allowed access to firearms. But to be disqualified in the bill, applicants have to be convicted of a crime punishable with a penalty of more than 2 years, or the pending case involves the use of firearms, ammunition, and major parts thereof. Pero si Apollo Kibuloy po, hindi pa convicted sa anumang krimen at ang kinakaharap niya pong kaso ay related sa qualified human trafficking at child abuse. Sa panukalang ito, kahit si Apollo Kibuloy na lumalabas na may sariling private army, ang Angels of Death, ay qualified pa rin makakuha ng mga baril. So ang mga tanong ko po dito, good sponsor, bakit po natin binabago ang polisiya at pinapadali ang access sa mga armas, Mr. President?
Yeah, Mr. President, Your Honor, hindi naman natin talaga mapadali, no? Kundi gusto na natin magiging fair tayo sa lahat ng tao. At kasi under Equal Protection of Law, under 1987 Constitution, in all criminal proceedings, an accused shall be presumed innocent until the contrary is proved, thus disqualifying all individuals who have been accused of a criminal case automatically deprives them of the right to be presumed innocent. Thus, pursuant to this constitutionally guaranteed right, there is a need to limit the disqualification to only those applicants with a pending case involving the use of firearms, ammunitions, or major parts thereof, or when they are otherwise ordered disqualified by a court of competent authority. So in the case of the case cited by the good gentlewoman, the case of Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, granting that the same case will surface in the future, and we already passed this amendment of this law, then I think we can petition the court to have him disqualified for possessing firearms. Pero kasi kung general natin ito lahat, kawawa naman ako. Kagaya ko, may kaso ako na arbitrary detention ng police pa ako. Kung hanggang ngayon hindi pa na-resolve yung kaso na yun. Tapos senador na ako ngayon, hindi ako pwedeng mabigyan ng permit to carry firearms outside of residence, then I think that will be unfair on my part kung hindi ako bigyan ng tsansa ng Estado na madipensahan yung sarili ko, lalong-lalo na at may threat sa buhay ko. So siguro, I am not saying it is my right, but I think that the state should give me that privilege to defend myself against a threat coming from the people that are threatening my life.
Salamat, Mr. President. Hindi ko pa po napag-isipan yung isang sitwasyon pa na binanggit ng good sponsor tungkol sa kanilang sarili at baka nga may pagkakaiba sa sinayt nilang sitwasyon dun sa itinanong ko kaugnay ni Pastor Kibuloy. At the very least, nagpapasalamat ako dun sa kabukasan ng good sponsor na dun sa particular na itinanong ko sa kaso ni Apollo Kibuloy, ay baka posibleng ipetisyon yung korte na i-disqualify sila sa paghawak ng baril. Pero ngayon pa lang, kahit hindi pa panahon ng period of amendments, i-make of record ko na yung ilang mga punto kaugnay nung naging sagot ng good sponsor tungkol kay Apollo Kibuloy. At iuulitin ko na lamang po pagdating sa proper time na period of amendments.
Yes.
The sponsor, Mr. President, has cited the right to be presumed innocent to justify this provision. Yung itinanong ko pong pagbabago sa polisiya at pagpapadali sa akses sa mga armas. But such right is not implicated here. Iba po ang usapin ng presumption of innocence sa usapin kung sino ang hahayaan ng gobyernong magmay-ari, humawak at magdala ng baril. Hindi porket hindi pa convicted ang akusado, as in the case of Apollo Kibuloy, pwede siyang patuloy na hayaang magkarga ng armas. The provision purports to have an exception in pending criminal cases which involve the use of firearms and ammunition. But, at ito po Mr. President, palagay ko ay importante, a gun does not have to be fired for it to have power. At hindi na dapat nating hintayin na gamitin ang baril sa krimen bago ito tanggalin sa kamay ng mga taong may tendensiyang lumabag sa batas. So, gaya ng sinabi ko po, good sponsor, i-reiterate ko na lang po yung
Okay.
mga puntong iyon pagdating na sa period of amendments. Kaugnay po nitong tanong na ito. Hindi ba makakalusot rin sa requirement na ito ang mga organized crime group na pwedeng hindi naman related sa baril ang mga krimen? Halimbawa, mga drug syndicates, Mr. President.
Pwede pong malaman from the good gentlewoman kung what particular instance paano maggamit ng organized crime group yung
Halimbawa po, yung itinatanong kong pagre-relax dun sa standards and requisites ng pag-obtain ng license to own. Hindi ba magagamit ito ng mga organized crime groups tulad ng mga drug syndicates? Dahil maaring hindi at the outset kaugnay ng baril yung kanilang mga krimen, pero magamit nila itong pagre-relax ng standards at requisites para nga makakuha ng baril at magamit sa kanilang illegal na gawain, good sponsor. Excuse me.
Mr. President, Your Honor, hindi lang po yan ang requirement to own and possess firearms. Napakarami po ng requirement. Isa lang po yan. So, yung ating sabi na relax from pending case to conviction, final conviction is just giving them the fair chance to own and possess firearms. Para naman na, as I've said, yung example na sinayad ko nga, in my case, yung simple criminal case ko for performing my duty as a police officer, hanggang ngayon, andyan pa yung kaso ko na arbitrary detention, then siguro naman hindi rin ako pwede i-disqualify na mag-possess ng firearms. Para fair lang, Mr. President, Your Honor. Yan lang po ang habol natin.
Salamat, good sponsor. Of course, sigurado ko naman na wala sa hinagap ng good sponsor na kasama sa mabigyan ng fair chance sa ilalim ng bill na ito. Yun na nga pong mga organized crime group, yung mga drug syndicates. Dahil sila po malamang, mas malamang na hindi na maganda ang record nila in terms of law, of compliance with the law, at mas posibleng meron na silang criminal record. So, ayaw po natin na magamit nila itong pag-relax ng standards and requisites para mas makakuha po ng baril.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Good gentlewoman. I think as I've said, hindi lang ito ang requirement, marami pa ibang requirements. So, pagdating pa lang sa police clearance, NBI clearance, hindi na sila makakalusot. So, hindi talaga sila mabigyan ng permit to possess firearms kung sila ay membro ng crime syndicate. At saka, we have to emphasize always that possession of firearms is not a matter of right. It is a privilege granted by the state to a particular individual. So, kung sabihin ng EPO na hindi ka talaga pwede dahil may criminal record ka dito eh. So, hindi talaga sila pwedeng mabigyan. Police clearance is a requirement.
Salamat.
Drug test, neuro exam, and a lot more requirements, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Salamat, good sponsor. At kaugnay nga dun sa ini-reiterate ng good sponsor na pribilehiyo pa rin itong ibibigay sa ilalim ng bill. Muli po, Mr. President, for the record, kaugnay nung pinag-usapan namin kanina ng good sponsor about presumption of innocence, the right to be presumed innocent applies to a citizen's rights in a criminal case. But gaya ng sinabi ng good sponsor, gun ownership and possession are not rights. They are mere privileges that must be heavily regulated. Mr. President, sa Section 11 naman po,
Yes po.
on firearms amnesty, ang palugit na binibigay sa mga taong may unregistered firearms at holders ng expired licenses ay hinabaan mula 6 months hanggang 3 years. Parang napakatagal naman po ng 3 years para malayang umikot sa bansa ang mga di-rehistradong baril. So, unang tanong po, may datos po ba ang PNP sa paggamit ng unregistered firearms sa krimen? Halimbawa, kung anong porsyento ng mga armas na ginamit sa krimen ay unregistered, good sponsor?
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor, may datos po ang PNP But luckily, wala lang ang PNP dito. But during our hearings, it was clearly presented to us that halos zero. Zero na registered firearm that were used in crime.
Zero po sa registered firearms.
Registered firearms.
Opo. So 100% ng ginagamit sa krimen ay unregistered,
Unregistered firearms. That is why gusto talaga natin na magkakaroon ng firearms amnesty program para ma-account itong mga loose firearms na nandyan ngayon sa mga hawak-hawak ng mga Pilipino. So makuha natin, ma-record natin lahat. At yung 3 years po na binigay natin ay ito, we have around more or less yung unregistered firearms. We have a very huge number of loose firearms. So it will take years talaga to have them accounted. And according to the PNP during our committee hearing last August, the final amnesty under RA 10591 is yet to be implemented to date and is pending approval by the Office of the Executive Secretary. So isa pa yan sa problema kasi matagal na approve. By extending the period for additional 3 years, we can ensure that we can give sufficient time to those owners of unregistered firearms, considering that one of the problems of the PNP is the logistics for far-flung provinces. Lalong-lalo na yung mga loose firearms na nandun sa mga malalayong lugar, dadalhin pa yan doon sa syudad para marehistro. So siguro, 3 years is enough, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Actually, good sponsor. Sasabihin ko sana, hindi lang more than enough. Baka nga too much po. At doon po papunta yung follow-up question ko. Dahil, di ba sa law enforcement, meron po kayong ang PNP na carrot and stick. Eh dito parang nauna yung carrot, huling-huli yung stick. For clarity lamang po, good sponsor. Ilang taon na pong tumakbo yung final amnesty na sabi nga nila yet to be implemented at pending pa rin?
Napakatagal na po ito, Mr. President, Your Honor. Hindi talaga ito na-implement pa.
More than 2
Since
years na po, good sponsor.
2014.
2004. Isang
Nag-take effect yung law, yung latest na Firearms Comprehensive Law, 2014. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa na-implement dahil yun nga, hindi na permahan ng Executive Secretary. So, well, it is the intention of the PNP to have all these loose firearms recorded, documented, ay parang kulang din sa action doon sa Malacanang. Kaya, yun, marami pa rin nagagamit na firearms na sa krimen na mga loose firearms talaga. So kung bigyan natin silang ample time na mag-register, anyway, hindi naman tayo nalulugi ang gobyerno pagdating sa kung 3 years ibigay natin. 3 years or 1 year, 2 years, mas gusto talaga natin na mas marami tayong firearms na nasa na loose firearms na ma-account natin, ma-register. So, yan yung ating intention for that. Kasi kung bigyan natin very short, baka mamaya hindi sila gaano ma-encourage kaagad mag-registro. At saka yung logistics,
Yes,
yun nga,
Mr.
logistics.
President.
Yung iba, malalayong lugar. At saka yung, alam mo, yung number, very huge. Wala lang ko exact number, pero napakarami yung loose firearms natin.
Actually, Mr. President, yung isa sa ibang time period na binanggit ng good sponsor ang at the proper time ipopropose ko po na by way of amendment
Okay.
sa halip na 3 taon na naman. Dahil syempre, ang problema doon kung mas matagal pang itatagal ay sakit ng ulo sa gobyerno in terms of yung epekto nga po na nakakalat pa rin. Yung sabi nga ng good sponsor, malaking bilang ng mga unregistered firearms. Now,
It's around, Mr. President, Your Honor, 700,000 plus loose firearms as of March 2024, 700,000. So you can just imagine kung itong mga baril ito is distributed all over the Philippines, tapos ang processing ng registration as only doon sa urban center sa syudad, talagang matatagalan talaga ito.
at sa dami good sponsor ng binanggit nilang bilang, 700,000.
700,000.
Ma-imagine lang po natin kung ilan sa mga ito ay nakabilang dun sa halos 100% na unregistered firearms na ginamit sa mga krimen nitong nakaraang mga taon. At kung ano kaagad yung magiging beneficial effect sa law enforcement at pagbaba sa crime incidents kung successfully makuha na ito ng gobyerno, pati sa pamamaraan nga ng pagpaparehistro sa mas maikling, hindi yung mas mahaba pang panahon.
This representation, Your Honor, Mr. President, is open to amendments to be
Salamat po.
introduced by the good gentlewoman.
Salamat po para doon, good sponsor. Kasi din, baka sa nakaraang 11 taon, parang hindi man sadya, parang nagkaroon ng karot yung mga hindi nagpaparehistro, baka a little bit more of the stick sa susunod. At sana huling panahon ng pagpaparehistro sa mga unregistered firearms. Ngayon po, good sponsor, ayon sa mga maraming report, unregistered firearms have found their way into the hands of POGO delinquents. Napapanahon po ba ang probisyong ito? Yung 3 years na naman. Ngayong nasa gitna tayo ng proseso ng pagkalas ng POGO syndicates, good sponsor.
Well, if they avail of the amnesty program, then it would be to our advantage. If they would not avail this program, then it would be to our disadvantage because we are not able to account these loose firearms, but also it would be to their disadvantage because kung may information ang PNP na meron silang existing na loose firearms, then they are subject to police operations.
Salamat, good sponsor. Siyempre sa pananaw ko rin po bilang constituent ng National Police, no, bilang isang civilian, it would seem na bawas sa trabaho at potential na problema ng PNP sa pag-asiste sa ibang executive agency sa pag-enforce ng POGO ban kung mas kaunti or walang armas lalo na unregistered sa kamay ng mga POGO syndicates na ito.
Yeah, but we have to take note, Mr. President, Your Honor, that foreigners like Chinese are not allowed to possess firearms here in the Philippines
Mr. President.
as a law.
Opo.
Di ba?
Right.
Opo.
Hindi sila po pwede. So, kung yung mga Chinese dyan na armed with loose firearms, I doubt kung kuha nila yan, ipaparehistro nila yan under the amnesty program. Dahil basically, they are not. In the first place, they are not qualified to own firearms.
Opo. So actually, good sponsor ang ipigilin at iimbestigahan ng ating law enforcers ay kung papaano itong mga dayuhang ito in the first place nakakuha ng baril. Halimbawa, yung si Mr. Tony Yang sa Cagayan de Oro na himala. Hindi man siya Filipino citizen, nakakuha siya ng pamamaraan na makahawak at makapagmay-ari ng mga baril. So,
And Your Honor, it's not just
Mr. President.
one gun that we are talking about because we heard a lot of rumors that he is in possession of several guns, Mr. President, Your Honors, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President.
But we should also take note, Mr. President, Your Honor, that his possession of firearms was anchored on the grounds that
He is a
he's a
Filipino.
Filipino citizen already. So nanganak yung illegal acquisition niya of citizenship, nanganak ng another problem yung ownership and possession of firearms. So nanganak.
And it looks like good sponsor dahil nanganak ng mga kaugnay na problema itong POGO phenomenon dito sa ating bansa. In that particular case of Mr. Tony Yang, baka ang mangyayari ay ibang klaseng problema para sa PNP na itong taong ito na nakakuha ng permit to carry bilang Filipino citizen, yung pala huwad ang kanyang pagiging Filipino citizen. So in effect, yung di umanong registered firearms niya are actually unregistered or unlicensed firearms. So baka ibang manifestation itong problema na di umano gustong solusyonan ng bill na ito, good sponsor. At isa pa po, good sponsor, hindi rin po kaya maging unintended beneficiary nito ang mga armadong rebelde at makaapekto sa mga peace processes, good sponsor.
Well, even yung mga armadong rebelde na nag-surrender na, we are encouraging them to surrender their firearms. But if they have their personal firearms na they can legally acquire, they can legally possess by operation of law, then alam natin yung lalong-lalo na yung mga former members of the MILF, alam natin yung kultura ng mga Muslim natin, and particularly yung mga sumama sa grupo na yun, talagang nasa kultura na yung armas. So kung hindi natin mapigilan yung kultura nila, we have to regulate their possession of firearms. So that's one way of encouraging them to be legal and regulated by this government.
Kaya po din, good sponsor, importante yung time frame. Kasi kung yung, halimbawa, yung time frame nung huling bahagi ng peace process nila ng cessation of hostilities and disposition of forces, pati yung pagsoli nila ng firearms nila sa gobyerno ay mas maikli sa 3 taon. Tapos dito sa bill ay magiging 3 taon pa. So parang hindi po synchronized. Kaya siguro iugnay ko pa rin po at the proper time sa proposed amendment kaugnay nito.
I agree with the good gentlewoman. Talagang i-synchronize natin yan dahil yun lang naman, lumabas na itong 3 years as proposed by the PNP for some logistic issues. Yun lang naman. Pero kung we concentrate more on regulation issues, then I could not agree more with your proposal.
Maraming salamat, good sponsor. At kung logistics man ang concern, tauna naman yung ating budget process at pwede po nating tignan paano talaga i-fully equip ang PNP kung ang ipapasa sa bill ay mas maikli sa 3 taong extension period pa or rather amnesty period pa po.
Correct na,
good
Mr.
sponsor.
President.
And huling tanong po para ngayong gabi, good sponsor, does the sponsor agree that private citizens should not be able to own and possess fully automatic firearms? Good sponsor.
Yes, I agree.
At ito
Being
po
the
ba,
former chief of the Philippine National Police and peace-loving citizen of this country, I would prefer civilians to have semi-automatic rifles only, firearms, not automatic.
again, good sponsor, salamat po para doon. At hindi ko lang matiis sabihin na I would prefer that we civilians don't even have semi-automatic weapons. But anyway, that's just for the record again dahil sa advocacy ko nga po na PNP lang at AFP ang may barel sa ganong modelo ng gunless society. Pero yun pong private citizens should not be able to own and possess fully automatic firearms. Klaro na po ba ito sa kasalukuyang bill, good sponsor?
Yes, it is in the existing law, Mr. President, Your Honor.
At hindi po aamyandahan itong bill, yung
No,
provision
I'm not
ng
trying
good
to amend
sponsor.
that.
Okay. So, maraming salamat, good sponsor, Mr. President, salamat po.
So, thank you, Senator.
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay Marisa Manalo, special mention pa talaga si Pastor Kibuloy, iba ka talaga itong si Risa, feeling smart ka masyado. Pahayag naman ni Wilbert Abad, pag-aralan nyo muna yan kasi ang Pinoy pag nakahawak ng baril ang yayabang na kung umasta. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si James Cruz, when a government can provide safety and order, it leaves its people with no choice but to take protection into their own hands. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.